Let's be honest, we are living in a world that is just overflowing with financial advice. You've got everything from super smart AI to these really charismatic Finfluencers all over social media. It can feel like making a smart money choice has never been more complicated. So this explainer, it's all about finding a little bit of clarity in all that chaos.
And that really brings us to the biggest question of all, right? With all these different digital guides promising they can help you, who are you actually supposed to trust? Well, we're going to unpack that puzzle. And we're going to use some really fascinating new research to do it.
So, welcome to what this research calls the new money maze. And look, being a smart financial consumer today, it's not just about getting rich. It's actually about something way bigger.
At the heart of it is this powerful idea called sustainable financial consumerism. Basically, it means that the choices you make with your money shouldn't just secure your own future. They should also be a positive force for society and for the environment.
The challenge, of course, is that the path to making these smart, sustainable choices is, well, it's getting pretty crowded. There are a couple of major digital forces out there that are totally reshaping how we all think about money.
So let's meet these digital guides. You've got artificial intelligence on one side and financial influencers or Finfluencers on the other. And as this research shows, they both have incredible potential, for sure, but they also come with some pretty serious pitfalls we need to talk about. Okay, let's start with AI. On the one hand, the promise is huge. We're talking personalized advice, amazing fraud protection, and opening up financial services to way more people. But, and this is a big but, on the other hand, you've got real risks, like hidden biases in the algorithms, and of course, major concerns about data privacy. And then you have the Finfluencers. I mean, they've made talking about money way more accessible and just relatable than it's ever been. But that accessibility kind of comes with a price, right? There's a very real danger of misinformation, advice that pushes you to make risky, impulsive moves, and a serious lack of any real regulation. So you've got these powerful tools, but they're both kind of flawed. What if the real key to getting through this maze isn't about picking the perfect outside guide, but about leveling up something you already have inside you? The research asks this really fascinating question. It suggests that in the super high-tech world of finance, maybe our most critical asset is something that's, fundamentally human. And here it is. The study really zeroes in on what it calls financial literacy and awareness, or FLA for short. Look, this isn't just about knowing textbook definitions. It's the actual skill set you need to make sound financial judgments no matter what's going on around you. And this is where the data gets really, really cool. It turns out how much you know about finance doesn't just help you a little. It actually fundamentally changes how you use all these other new tools and voices. Just look at this number. The study found that a whopping 71.5% of what drives our good, sustainable financial choices can be explained by the mix of AI, Finfluencers, the quality of the product, and our own financial literacy. That's a massive piece of the puzzle. So probably the best way to think about your own financial literacy is like it's a master control switch or a super smart filter. It doesn't just add one more thing to the equation, it actually changes how effective all the other pieces are. Let me show you what I mean. So, take AI for example. When someone with pretty low financial literacy uses an AI tool, yeah, it helps. It has a medium impact. But when someone with high literacy uses that exact same tool, boom, the impact just skyrockets. Your knowledge literally unlocks the full power of the technology. Now this part I find fascinating. The research shows that the more financially literate you are, the less you just blindly rely on Finfluencers. It makes sense. You're better equipped to do your own homework. But what's really interesting is that it doesn't really change how much you rely on a high-quality product. A good product is a good product. What your knowledge really changes is who you trust for advice.
Okay, so let's just quickly sum up these key interactions. Financial literacy acts like an amplifier for AI. It works like a filter for influencer advice, and it recognizes that, hey, a quality product stands on its own. The big takeaway here? The tools you use definitely matter, but what you already know matters even more.
So what does all this mean for us, in the real world? This isn't just a theory. When we, as individuals, make smarter choices because we're empowered by knowledge, well, that adds up. It creates a better, more sustainable world for everybody. Here's a quick picture of how it all comes together. A financially literate person might see an influencer's post. That's the spark. But then, instead of just jumping in, they use their knowledge to dig deeper. With AI tools, they critically compare the product's quality, and only then do they make a choice. See,
They use all the tools, but they're the ones in the driver's seat.
And hey, this isn't just about us as individuals. The researchers wrap up with a really important call to action. They argue that banks, tech companies, and educators all need to work together to build a system that actually promotes financial literacy and sustainable habits. This stuff is actually aligned with huge global goals for education and economic growth.
So we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. In a world that's increasingly run by algorithms and influencers, a world where information is absolutely everywhere, but real wisdom is pretty scarce, maybe, just maybe, the most powerful financial tool you'll ever have is the one that's right between your ears.